The Titan began its nearly 13,000-foot descent on Sunday morning, but the vessel and its 5-person crew vanished in less than 2 hours. This is not the first time that a mission to the Titanic shipwreck has gone awry. More than 20 years ago, then ABC News science editor Dr. Michael Guylen was sent on assignment all the way down to the Titanic in a submersible when he got stuck.
Oh boy, I felt a little bit of a boom, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at these things.
Oh my God, look at the size of these things.
Oh my gosh, so are we stuck or what?
As this graphic shows, we appear to be somehow wedged alongside the giant propeller beneath the wreck of the upside-down stern.
Luckily, there was a 3-person crew. They were able to break free. A moment that Dr. Guillen captured on camera. Watch this.
After half an hour, Victor's incredible piloting skills and cool-headed attitude win the day.
We're out?
Well, joining us now is the scientist, the journalist, and author, Dr. Michael Guillen. Thank you so much for being with us. When I read your account, I was so shocked because you don't even like, going under the water at all. And so when you got this offer as a journalist at ABC News, you felt you had to take it because of what you would see. And then you get stuck in the propeller. You have a perspective that almost no one on Earth has of what it is like to go down. Can you tell us about that experience, given what we're going through looking for this right now?
Yes. Well, good morning. That's right. I have a deathly fear of water. And so when I was invited to be the first TV correspondent to report from the Titanic, my impulse was, oh, God, no. Of all things, I don't want to do that. But then I had to do my job. When we got stuck down there, 2.5 miles beneath the surface, it was the sense of being buried alive under that much water. And I can't even begin to tell you that how terrifying that is, because when we first collided, there was just a sense of orientation. It's like when you're driving and it's a beautiful sunny day and you're top of the world, you're thinking everything is going great, and then suddenly some other car comes out of nowhere and just slams into you. And there's that moment of confusion as what just happened? And then once we realized that this was a very serious thing, really the sub fell silent because neither I or my diving buddy wanted to disturb the pilot, who at that point then was at the edge of his seat, monitoring the situation, speaking in Russian to the mothership above us. And we thought, wow, how are we going to get out of this? And of course, my scientific brain started ticking off all the ways maybe we could get out. But, very soon you realize, man, there is no way out. You're in the middle of the North Atlantic at the bottom, and you can't call AAA to tow you out. And so I experienced enormous sadness. The only way I can describe it is it's as if the weight of the ocean just came down on me. And I thought of my wife. We were newlyweds. It was my anniversary, September of 2000. And then I inexplicably, ultimately experienced a sense of peace. But all through these last 72 hours, I'm thinking of those 5 souls down there, and I know exactly what they are experiencing. I wonder if they're still alive. They're hearing noises, but we can't tell what those noises are. And we're very close, if not already past the point where they've run out of oxygen. So if they're not the ones making the noise inside, banging on the walls of the sub, which is what I would have done if they'd lost communications. Noise travels very well in water, much better than it does in the air, and we've been listening for it. Then it might just be a piece of metal or part of the ship just banging, pieces of metal just banging together. We may never know. We may never recover this vessel.
Can I ask, what are you, a lot of people have pointed to the people that are on the submersible and said some of them have a lot of experience, right? They've done, they would know what to do in a situation like this, but you make a great point. There's nothing you can really do to some degree. When you were watching the captain of your ship operate, are there things that he was prepared for? Are there protocols that you can go through, or is it really just try and make noise and pray?
That's a really good point. When we were prepping for the dive up on the ship, the captain put us through a lot of orientation sessions and told us what might go wrong, told us stories about people in that situation when they panic and immediately they want to go to the escape hatch, which is, of course, a death sentence. because when you panic, you're not thinking. So I knew that when we collided, that's the thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go to that escape hatch. I wanted to make sure nobody else in that sub was. I was ready to gang tackle anybody who even looked at that escape hatch, right? But no, I mean, and I think that's the hardest thing, especially for an intellectual like me who lives by the motto, for every problem, there's an optimal solution. I mean, I've drummed that into my son's head. For every problem, there's an optimal solution. And it is the most terrifying thing to experience, coming to the conclusion, no, there ain't a solution. There's no optimal solution. There is no solution, period. There's just no one around. And I imagine that at some point in these 5 folks who are in the Titan, they came to that realization, even though you could have all the experience you in the world, but at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. And the idea that no amount of technology, no number of planes, ROVs, sonars, nothing can come to your rescue. If you're at the bottom of the ocean, 2.5 miles down, you don't just go down there and reach in, even with a cable or a grappling hook. It's not that easy. The pressures are enormous. They're bone crushing. It's cold down there. And so I just feel that I've just been feeling for the last 72 hours this kinship with those people down there. And it's almost like I'm down there with them, because I know what it's like down there. It's utterly dark. There's no light. You don't certainly want to light a candle or anything in there. You use up the oxygen, whether they have flashlights or not, who knows. But this had to have been a catastrophic failure of some kind. And I'm not sure we'll ever know, because I'm not sure we'll ever recover that vessel.
Dr. Michael Guillen, thank you for taking us literally into what they may be experiencing.